What an absolute masterclass of an episode we had this week. Picking up from the beef that Einar and Thorfinn had with the retainers that ruined their read from last episode, starting off the episode with what Thorfinn was going through while he was in that small coma state. As if Thorfinn wasn't already given huge development from his depressed suicidal-like state, from obtaining a will to continue living and looking towards the future. This season has given us a lot more, like so much more than we ever thought we would get back when it started. Like, if you thought this episode was bad, or like the past few episodes even, I don't know, maybe get your eyes checked, maybe, you know, get your brain checked. Because I will say it now, Vinland Saga is peak, absolute masterful storytelling, god tier characters, provides a better story than majority of shonen nowadays. Just like AOT, it knows how to grab you in emotions at the right moments. Y'all need to stop sleeping on this, because you are missing out on actual peak unfolding right beneath your eyes. Tangent aside, dude, Askeladd's appearance this episode fucking killed me. Askeladd reappearing in Thorfinn's cognition to give him the final push he needs to move forward from the past. Which this can also correlate back to the scene with Thor's earlier in the episode, with Thorfinn acknowledging that he fucked up and didn't take Thor's lesson into account. With Thorfinn's desires to atone for his sins and become the better version of himself that he failed to do for half the majority of his life so far. It just really knows how to tug your emotions, make you feel some kind of empathy for all these characters, side characters or not. I would be lying if I said I teared up during this episode. I almost did, actually, because of how good the whole Askeladd scene was. The episode really gave me goosebumps throughout it though, especially if not for the OST. I just wouldn't feel as much of the impact of the scenes, the story, the character moments, and just everything about it. You just can't complete the puzzle without that one piece, that OSTs. And on the topic of OSTs, I fucking love the piano OSTs. They carry the scenes so hard. Not to say the scenes aren't good enough on their own, but that piano just really escalates them by 100 times. I don't think I've talked about this yet, but going back to the scene with Askeladd, the directors and animators for this season really did an amazing job portraying that hellish environment. Not only with the zombies grabbing onto Thorfinn's legs, but the representation of the battlefield, where those warriors who've killed like many people without remorse just end up there rather than like the afterlife. You know, by losing their sense of self and having to fight an endless war. I know I'm just saying the obvious, but Thorfinn not become a slave and overall lost his will to live after Askeladd's death, that would be his life right now had it gone a different route. But you know, it also had me thinking, what if Thorfinn actually got his revenge on Askeladd? Would he throw away his sword and leave the battlefield similarly to how Thor's did when he decided to stop fighting, or would he end up in that exact position shown? Looking back at how he was able to move on and be reborn by acknowledging the fact that he killed countless people, even if he left the battlefield in that situation I just brought up, I still think it might come back to haunt him eventually. Just like his dreams he kept having about killing all those people, leading him to also having ended up betraying or killing those he actually cared about. But yeah, it's just a theory that's worth giving some thought to. But aside from all that, Askeladd's appearance made this episode. I'm gonna say it right now, without his appearance and him giving Thorfinn the push he needed this episode would not have the impact that it did. So I'm really glad to see the GOAT return, even if it was for an episode. I never thought he'd actually appear again, because, you know, I'm not a manga reader for this. I wonder if he will make another appearance, or if this was the last one. I certainly hope not, though. With all that said and done, if you want to see more content like this, please do be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.